Well, right before I got on the desk, you were busy on the phone in regards to the Save the Lloydminster Bobcats.
Yeah, that's right, Jen. I actually just took a call from Craig Cripps, the president of the league, and I will have some updates on the process and a timeline that has actually now been developed. But before we get to that, it has been a season of ups and downs for Lloydminster area product Braden Holtby. The Washington Capitals prospect has been called up to the big show 3 times this season. And in those 3 stints, he's notched his first NHL career win, his first NHL career shutout, and was named the NHL's first star of the week. Our very own Aaron Strack touched base with a 21-year-old who has recently been sent back down to Hershey.
After being sidelined a month with a sprained MCL, the Washington Capitals recalled Braden Holtby from the Hershey Bears the beginning of March.
Called up at a good time. We were on a pretty good roll up there before I even got called up, so it was lucky for me. The guys were playing great, and it was a fun experience when I was up there.
During his time with the big club, Holtby improved on his 4-2-2 record with 5 straight victories.
The team was playing outstanding. The defense was, amazing. It's probably one of the best times I've ever played. So it was pretty easy for me. I just had to give our team a chance to win, and I kind of reaped the rewards, I guess.
The Lloydminster area product in his 3rd go-around with the Caps this season picked up his first career NHL shutout against a team he grew up following.
After watching all the Oilers over the years, and they were the only team that I've ever went to a National League game and watched live. So it was kind of a pretty cool thing to be able to get my first shutout against them.
Despite his recent success with Washington, the 2008 93rd overall selection has had a difficult 2011.
It's been a frustrating last month. It's been the first injury I've ever had to deal with, so it was very frustrating seeing your team playing and you're just sitting in the stands, and it's almost more stressful to watch from the stands.
Now that both Capital puck stoppers are healthy, Holtby returned to the Bears over the weekend, a place where he is adored by the Hershey faithful.
When you get sent down, you're kind of in a depressed mode, but when you see the fans and how much they enjoy that you're playing there, it's it definitely makes you feel a lot better, and it makes you play that much harder.
Aaron Strack, New Cap Sports.
Sticking with hockey, the Lloydminster Bobcats have had to contend with their fair share of distractions this season off the ice, but the team was determined not to let their product on the ice suffer. For the first time in 8 seasons, the Cats made it out of the first round of playoffs, and despite being swept by the defending Enerflex Cup champs in the quarterfinals, they still managed to give the Spruce Grove Saints a run for their money. The team gathered together for one last time on Saturday night to reflect on one of the team's most successful seasons in franchise history.
All 23 players and their families were together under one roof for one last hurrah Saturday evening for the Bobcats year-end banquet, and some hardware was handed out to the team's top performers.
I didn't know what to expect. I thought I'd be in the running for it, but when you get most valuable player for your team, it's only one word comes to mind. It's really an honor.
It feels awesome to be recognized by the coach and the team as the top defenseman. I want to say thanks to all the coaches and definitely my teammates for supporting me all year.
The decisions weren't easy for the Colonel or Cole Fisher to make. Team MVP could have went either way.
It was kind of between Corey and him because they both improved so much on their stats and their game that we just had to pick one or the other, and we both decided on Kyle.
For the guys, the night wasn't a contest to see who could collect the most awards. It was a time to spend with their teammates.
Some of these guys I've played with for 3 years, some guys 2 years, and definitely formed a lot of friendships. And it's definitely It's going to be hard to say bye to all the boys.
In all sports, your team, you become family members, and it's going to be real tough to say goodbye to the guys that aren't going to be here next year. And I just got nothing but great things to say about every guy.
I really never know what to say when you're saying goodbye because I never look at saying goodbye. Kind of hope you'll always run into him, even though in reality, I won't see 80% of these people again. I certainly hope that's not the case, but I'd like to hear how all the boys did and where their futures are.
You couldn't have the whole team together and not ask their thoughts on the state of the franchise.
I know personally I'd love to stay in Lloyd, and I can say every guy here would want to too, so hopefully it does stay, and the league should allow that to happen.
Puts a little bit of pressure on me as I always laugh with everyone. I say, well, I had one boss, now I've got 96 bosses.
Aaron Strack, New Cap Sports.
It might be 100 for the record. Well, the Friends of the Bobcats are still asking for the community support as they continue their ownership initiative. At this time, the most accurate number of season seats sold is 633. As the Friends of the Bobcats prepare to make their sales pitch to the league, they are hoping that this number reaches the 800 mark. Season seats are going to be key to the operating budget for next season and will speak volumes to community support. Now today, the AJHL informed Newcap Sports what this process will look like going forward. The 3 items that you see on your screen will all happen in approximately the next 3 weeks. Now that phone call that I did take from Craig Cripps prior to the cast, he said that hopefully all of these goals will be accomplished on or about April the 9th. Now it is important to note that this is flexible, so don't take that as a final deadline. Both Brent Stark and the Friends of the Bobcats will have to have their sales pitch and relocation pitch, in Brent Stark's case, approved by the league's Board of Governors. That is your first look at local sports. Welcome back. Evolution Fighting Championships has grown from a local event held in a bar to one of the country's best up-and-coming mixed martial arts organizations. For the first time in the promotion's history, an event was held outside of the border city. Saturday night in Cold Lake, fight fans got a chance to see Midwest fighters put it on the line inside the EFC cage. Jacob Zare was there.
Nick Hainan fights out of Lloydminster and was first on the card and managed to force his opponent to verbally tap out with an arm lock in the second round. Another Lloyd product, Mark Beausoleil, took his opponent to the ground with a huge slam and then proceeded to work to improve position and eventually coaxed the tap out via Kimura.
He was able to fight off the first one. I switched over, just gave him a few elbows just to soften him up. And then from there I went back to the Kimura and I was able to get the Kimura.
Cold Lake's own John Cowan barely broke a sweat as he timed a counter-strike perfectly to knock out his opponent with a single big shot just 16 seconds into the first round, bringing the crowd to its feet.
He just chases that overhand height to close the distance and then clinch up. He's got a really mean clinch. So counter to the jab, if you want to come over top, is a cross.
Another Cold Lake fighter, John Simonar, came out of his corner on fire and demolished his opponent, powering out of a submission attempt and working the fight to the ground, where he unleashed some brutal ground and pound to force the referee to intervene just over 2 minutes into the first round.
I was planning on keeping it standing, and the fight just took its course, and we went from there. I was ready to go whether it was on the standing or on the ground. It was all good.
And for the main event, EFC heavyweight champ Tim Camelli dropped to 205 pounds to try and capture the light heavyweight title too. John Ganshorn stood in his way and managed to tie Camelli up and land a heavy shot before Camelli stormed back with his own savage clinch work to drop Ganshorn. Camelli followed up with relentless hammer fists and just 1 minute and 40 seconds into the first round became a dual weight class title holder.
When I was hammer fisting him, I knew it was over. I was just waiting for the ref to stop it. But he rocked me right before that, man. Like I was pretty dizzy right before that, so he hits pretty hard.
Got outside the game plan a little bit there. We had kind of a set thing, and then got greedy when I saw that he kind of shook a little bit, and then went forward. And well, it was a learning lesson.
EFC 7 proved to be one of the strongest cards in EFC history, with the promotion's solid matchmaking again proving to deliver everything MMA fans could ask for.
I really try to put the guys as best I can together. You know, I want to see good, solid fights. You know, you got a guy who's 1-0 or 0-0, but he's fighting a guy who's 0-0. So they both, you know, they have equal chances.
And the first foray out of the border city for the EFC wrapped up with thrilled local fans and a promotion that, pound for pound, can stand with the best events in Canada.
People talk, so I hope they get the word out on what kind of show we put on, because we put a lot of work into doing the promotion.
Jacob Zare, Newcap Sports.
That's all the time I have for sports.